guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I read in November. I read 6 books in November, which is way better than what I have been doing. Like in September I read 4, and I think in October I read like 5. So we are back to hitting our goal of 6 books a month. So yeah, and I upped my TBR for December if you watched my December TBR video that I posted last Monday. So if you haven't, you should go check that out because it's very cool. The first book that I read this month was a reread, and that was Keeper of the Lost Cities. I reread it so that I could like annotate it and things like that, and I am filming a video of me rereading this series before the 10th book comes out, so I'm refreshed on everything that's happened, because some, like, the last 2 books, like book 8.5 and 9, I've struggled with like things they've mentioned from the past because I've read the books like so long ago, and then like I have to wait a year. It's been every 2 years now for the next book. So yeah, I gave it 5 stars. I probably would have given it 5 stars the first time I read it if I knew about the star rating type deal. But this is basically just about this 12-year-old girl who lives in the human world, but then she finds out that she's actually an elf. And she's been able to read minds since she was 5, but she didn't tell anybody in the human world. And then, you know, because she can read minds, I mean, she's like an elf. And then she gains all of these other powers in this book. And she was created by the Black Swan, which is like a rebellion group. And this series is just kind of her journey through, I don't even know, because there's not much I can say right now. Listen, I'll tell you this, she gets kidnapped by the main villains in this book, but I can't tell you what the name is, because, listen, in the reread, we don't even know yet, so, yeah, that is what this book is about, and I gave it 5 stars, and it's very good, and you literally all need to read it. I don't care that it's children's fantasy, you need to read it. There's a love triangle, but, like, you hate one of the guys, so there's an option. Well, in the first book, you might like him, but then you get to the second book, and he's, like, really mean, and then you're like, no thank you. So yeah, there's that. Then I read my favorite book of, like, the whole year, I think, and that is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Everybody's talking about this book right now, so I don't even feel like I have to explain to you what this book is. But it's basically like the Hunger Games, but I don't know, it's better. The Enemies to Lovers is so good. It's so good, and I cannot wait for Reckless to come out in July. And yeah, I read this in what I realistically read in a week reading vlog that I posted last month, and oh my gosh, it's just like, I think it's my favorite book that I've read this entire year. It's so good. It's so good. Oh my goodness, I'm obsessed with this book, and I need Reckless to come out sooner than July because I need to know what happens next, because oh my gosh, the ending was just, oh, it was so like, I don't know what's gonna happen next, because now they're like really and truly enemies, and it's like, oh my goodness, the slow burn is just ridiculous. But it's like, some slow burns, it's so agonizingly slow that you're like, can we just speed up this process? But for me, with this slow burn, I was like, when they finally get together, this is gonna be the greatest thing that has ever happened ever. And I thought it was gonna happen in this book, but it did not. And it probably won't happen until book 3 because it's a trilogy, and I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I know that it's gonna be amazing, and I'm just, I'm so excited for the second book, and then the third one, obviously. So yeah, just, if you haven't read this, you need to read it right now. So go buy it. There's a UK version, which is this. This is the UK version. And then there's the US version, and there's a Barnes & Noble, like, exclusive edition, I think. And instead of purple flowers, there's pink flowers, and I want it so bad. So yeah, I just want every edition of this book that has ever existed ever. So yeah. The next book that I read was Assistant to the Villain, which is another enemies to lovers, but I feel like it's not enemies to lovers. It's more of like a workplace romance. But it's fantasy, and it's in the title. A girl goes to be an assistant for the villain. That's literally what his name is. At least that's what everybody knows him by. And then it's just kind of their journey. And Sage, I think that's her name, Evie, is trying to make sure that he doesn't die because somebody's trying to kill him or sabotage his plan or something like that. I don't really remember. But there's more books in this series, and I think I'm going to continue this series. So, yeah, it was good. I gave it 4.5 stars? 4 stars? Hold on. Yeah, so I gave it 4 stars, but it was very good, and it does not, I literally read it right after Powerless, and I'm like, this does not compare to Powerless, like, at all, but it was still really good, and I probably would have enjoyed it more if I hadn't read it right after Powerless, because that was, like, the next book that I read in the Realistically What I Read in a Week reading vlog, which is not what I realistically read in a week, so I don't really know how I read 2.5 books in that, reading vlog, because typically I read 1 a week. And then I ended up reading 3, which is why I have so many books that I read, because I literally read 3 in a week, and I haven't done that since July. So, yeah. I don't even think I ever read 3 in a week during the summer, because I didn't have an abundance of books on my physical TBR like I do now. So, wasn't even doing that in the summer. Next I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and I gave this book 5 stars. I think this is my favorite Emily Henry book. But yeah, you already know what this is. Did I annotate it? No, I did not annotate it. But yeah, this book was really good, and I loved it, and it was good to take a break from all of the fantasy that I read this month. So it was good to start something else, because I'm fixing to read, like, so much fantasy, it's ridiculous. I've already read 1 fantasy book. Technically, I started it in November, but I finished it yesterday, so... And that was December 1st, so it's a December book. But yeah, I'm gonna be reading so much fantasy this month, so yeah. But I'm glad I finally read this book, because it's been on my physical TBR for a while, and I really loved it. And now I just need to wait for Happy Place to be out in paperback, and then I will have read all of Emily Henry. Well, then Funny Story is gonna come out, and then I'm gonna be behind again. It's fine. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Because, you know, I have literally millions of other books that I need to read, even though I want to read just all of the Emily Henry ever. So yeah, I have, 3 5-star reads so far? This was a good reading month, by the way. Then I read Check and Mate by Hazelwood. It's signed by Hazelwood. It is in fact signed, yes. I gave this 3.5 stars. It was very good. It was just, I was expecting more romance than there was. It was more like literary fiction than romance, you know what I mean? Like, it was very minimal romance. But it was still really good, and I liked it. And it was like a quick, easy little, like, 350-page read. So yeah, and I highly enjoyed it. And now I just need to read Loath to Love You, The Love Hypothesis, and Love on the Brain, and then I will have read all of Hazelwood. And then Not in Love, when that comes out next year. I have so many books I need to read, because I need to catch up on all this stuff that I've missed, which we're doing a lot of that this month, because I'm reading To Kill a Kingdom, Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, Dance of Thieves, The Cruel Prince. We're just really catching up this month. But yeah, Check and Mate, 3.5 stars. It was good. I recommend it for YA romance. If you're looking for YA romance, I would recommend it. It's good. And then the last book, which was, like, very difficult for me to, I don't know, the ending just really, like, got me. I knew part of it was gonna happen. I guess like half of the ending. But last book I read was Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica? Sure. I rated it 5 stars. It was very good. I can't really tell you much about this book, but basically this lady goes missing, and then like 11 days later this mom and daughter go missing. And then 11 years later the daughter comes back, and like everybody's trying to figure out like what happened to her, where she's been, things like that. And I don't know, it just really like, I liked it. Like, I like thrillers, but this one was very like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, that's how much I don't know what to say. Like, on Goodreads, I didn't write a review for this book because I didn't even know what to say. And I was like, maybe I'll have my words together by the next day, because I finished this at night. So I was like, I'll just like wake up tomorrow, and if I figured out what I want to say, then I'll say it. And then I couldn't figure it out, and I was like, okay, so then I just have to like do my wrap-up video, and like I still don't have any thoughts on this book, and I don't understand why. Like, it was good and I liked it, and the ending really like got me. I was like, wow, I was not expecting that to happen. But like, I just don't, there's no words to describe how I'm feeling about this book other than it was good and I enjoyed it, you know? So I don't know if that's just because it's a thriller, and so it's like gonna kind of like really catch you off guard, and then you're not really gonna know like what to do or say or anything like that, or what it was. But I don't know, for some reason I just don't have anything, I don't have any like thoughts on this book, which is weird, but at the same time it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But this is like the craziest thriller I've ever read. I've only read 2. This and If We Were Villains, which I really loved. But, I don't know. I don't really have, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't think I have anything to say. So there you go. 5 stars. I would recommend it. The ending is just ridiculously crazy. And yeah, that's all I got. So yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoyed like all of the books that I read last month. I think they were all very good books, and I loved them all. But make sure you like and subscribe, and comment down below what you read in November, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload, which is on Mondays. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!